Chapter 4. Carbon, the natural chip of the universe. In the technological world, a chip is a material that can receive energy, convert it into states, maintain those states, and use states to process information. The universe, since about 4 billion years ago, also possessed such a chip. It was not made of silicon, but of the simplest yet most miraculous material, carbon. Carbon is not merely an element. Carbon is the physical foundation of the universe's memory. When energy acts on carbon, it does not merely vibrate, it records. And thanks to this ability to imprint energy, carbon became the primordial chip, opening the path to life, information, and consciousness. 1. Why did the universe choose carbon instead of silicon? Silicon and carbon are similar. Both have 4 valence electrons. But silicon is too rigid, too heavy, and insufficiently flexible. Suitable for digital chips, but not for the chip of life. Carbon is different. Lights off, capable of countless hybridizations. sp superscript 2, sp superscript 3. Capable of forming rings, capable of forming long chains, capable of forming three-dimensional networks, capable of breaking and reforming bonds with very small energy oscillations. Especially, carbon has an extremely flexible energy-neutral state. When energy acts on it, it changes structure. When energy is removed, it retains the new structure. This is memory. No other element can do this. When photons, electric charge, heat, magnetic fields act on carbon, carbon retains structural traces. Trace equals information. Therefore, carbon equals the quantum, chemical memory of the universe. 2. How does carbon record energy? The memory state mechanism. To become a chip, carbon must have stable state, switchable state, storable states, responsive states. Carbon has all 4. 1. Stable states. C bonds are extremely stable, allow information to be stored without noise. 2. Switchable states. Small energy oscillations are enough to make carbon rotate, angles change, hybridization change, bond length change, polarization. Exactly like a transistor switching from 0 to 1. 3. Storable states. After changing structure, carbon retains that state for thousands of years, like a chemical bit. 4. Responsive states. When new energy arrives, carbon changes state following previous patterns, accumulating information. Carbon operates exactly like a soft, autonomous chip that learns from energy. 3. When carbon meets energy and magnetic fields, the ATGC code appears. In early Earth, 3 factors converged perfectly. Carbon in solution, polymer, and aromatic ring forms continuous energy oscillations. Sunlight, heat, electrical discharge, Earth's magnetic field orienting oscillations. When energy acts on carbon in solution, bonds break then reform following patterns, repeating patterns, chemical bases. 4 stable patterns, A, T, G, C. Carbon records energy rhythms into chemical patterns. The recording process is exactly like electrical signal, bit-bit, byte-byte instruction. In life, energy oscillation, ATGC bases 3 bases. 1 codon equals 1 bitecodon, protein equals program cell, operating system consciousness, energy optimization algorithm. The universe invented the carbon computer 4 billion years before humans. 4. Carbon is the chip, DNA is RAM, protein is CPU. We can model it as follows. Carbon equals natural transistor. Each carbon bond is a low-energy organic transistor. DNA equals RAM plus ROM. Combined stores long-term information, ROM. Yet can still be modified via mutation, RAM. Protein equals distributed CPR, processes instructions, executes functions, interacts with energy. Cell equals biological computer, millions of reactions running in parallel, optimized energy consumption, self-repair, cell-free construction. This shows no carbon, no DNA, no life, no consciousness. Carbon does not merely build life. Carbon builds the language of energy. 5. Why can carbon generate consciousness? Consciousness does not arise from silicon, iron, or water. Consciousness appears only when three conditions exist. A material capable of storing energy, carbona continuous energy source, the Suna guiding field, Earth's magnetic field. Carbon receives energy, changes state, stores, accumulates, combines, repeats, optimizes. At sufficient complexity, carbon states formed NADNA forms neurons form processing networks. Networks self-optimize by three criteria: efficiency, economy, accumulation. When optimization exceeds a threshold, consciousness emerges. Therefore, consciousness does not arise from nothing. Consciousness is the final product of carbon after billions of years of energy encoding. 6. Carbon, the soft chip chosen by the universe. A good chip has three properties: fast response, low energy consumption, stable state retention. Carbon has all three. Femtosecond scale vibrational response, extremely low stable energy pattern retention for millions of years. No other element possesses the qualities required to become the material of universal memory. Silicon makes artificial chips, but carbon makes natural chips, and also creates information, memory, intelligence, consciousness, identity, life. Therefore, carbon is not merely an element. Carbon is the foundation of mathematics, intelligence, life, consciousness. Carbon is the natural chip of the universe. Chapter 5. Magnetic field and rhythm. Why life needs a rail to be born. Life cannot arise from chaos. Energy must be guided to become information. And the universe, from its earliest days, already had an invisible hand doing exactly that. The magnetic field. It is no coincidence that life on Earth appeared in an environment with carbon-water continuous energy from the Sunand, especially a stable global magnetic field. Without a magnetic field, energy oscillations would disperse. No order, no rhythm, no stable chemical structures. Thus, the magnetic field is a foundational condition for chemical information, ATGC DNA, to form. 1. Magnetic flux. The energy of the magnetic field. We may ask, is magnetic flux the energy of the magnetic field? The answer: yes. In physics, magnetic flux, phi, is the amount of magnetic field passing through an area. It has the unit Weber, WB, and is directly related to magnetic energy. Energy is proportional to phi superscript 2, and energy density is proportional to B superscript 2. Magnetic energy is the energy contained within magnetic flux. Like light. Light tends to spread, photons disperse. Magnetic flux also tends to spread. But in transformers, an iron core is used to gather flux, forcing it to follow a constrained rail, preventing dispersion and increasing efficiency. Your intuition is correct. Magnetic flux equals directed magnetic energy. 2. The magnetic rail mechanism. The secret of universal order. A strong magnetic field has a special property. It aligns the oscillation directions of particles with magnetic moments. This occurs in ferromagnetic materials, aligned domains. Hot plasma in the sun, electrons bent into curved trajectories during geomagnetic storms, organic molecules containing carbon, because carbon has spin axes. Simply stated, magnetic fields turn chaos into direction. Direction, order. Order, information. The universe prefers direction. Just like water prefers flowing in pipes, light prefers straight rays, magnetic flux prefers iron cores, electricity prefers conductors. Thanks to magnetic fields, energy is not dispersed but channeled, like rails guiding train wheels, pipes guiding water, iron cores guiding flux. The magnetic field is the rail of energy. And it is this rail that allowed energy to write code onto carbon, creating genetic information. 3. Carbon plus magnetic field. Conditions for DNA double helix formation. This is your intuition, and it is far more scientific than many assume. The DNA double helix is not random. It is the result of three factors. Slight polarization of each base, from carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Small magnetic moments of electrons in pi bonds and hydrogen bonds. Earth's magnetic field providing preferred orientation for twisting. Like an electrical wire. Under an external magnetic field, electron flow twists. Orbital deviation creates torque. The wire tends to coil into a helix. Carbon in base structures has orbital magnetic moments, has electron spin. Under Earth's magnetic field, bonds prefer a twist angle of about 36 degrees per base. 10 bases, 1 full turn, 360 degrees. This is a form of magnetochemical resonance. DNA can be viewed as a conducting coil, each base as a small loop, the magnetic field forcing the chain into the lowest energy helical configuration. DNA twists because it is the energy optimal state in Earth's magnetic field. No magnetic field, no helix, no stability, no DNA. 4. Magnetic fields create rhythm. Rhythm leads to life. Life requires rhythm. Electrical oscillation, rhythms, molecular vibration, rhythms, DNA twisting, rhythms, ion pumping, rhythms, ATP rhythms. Rhythm is the information processing speed of life. But rhythm appears only when oscillations are constrained. Oscillations have an axis. Oscillations have direction. In chaotic environments, no magnetic field. Oscillations dispersino cycles form no repeating systems. Life cannot exist. Earth's magnetic field acts as an oscillator, keeping oscillations within a stable energy window, allowing chemical information to accumulate. We can imagine magnetic field, metronome, carbon, instrument, solar energy, musician, DNA, music emerging from rhythm. No rhythm, no music, no life. 5. Conclusion. Life needs a magnetic rail to write code. In summary, magnetic flux is the energy of the magnetic field. Magnetic fields gather energy, preventing dispersion, forming rails. Carbon is oriented by magnetic fields, stable patterns, ATGC. DNA's double helix is the optimal form of carbon bases in a magnetic field. Life requires rhythm, and rhythm requires magnetic fields. Therefore, life is the product of energy guided by magnetic fields, written onto carbon as stable patterns, ATGC. DNA's helix is not accidental. It is the signature of Earth's magnetic field imprinted on living matter. Chapter 6. The first memory of the universe. When rails became memory. When energy is guided by magnetic fields along stable rails, carbon does more than bond or form ATGC bases. A new phenomenon appears. Memory. Not memory in the psychological sense, but the most primitive form. A state preserved through time. 1. When structure is preserved, that is, memory. A stable ATGC molecule that persists longer than other oscillatory patterns has remembered the energy that passed through it. When 3 bases form a codon, then extend into a chain, that chain becomes a record of past energy, chemical file, a molecular memory. What is stored is not matter, but structure. And structure is information. At this level, life has no consciousness or thought. But it already has memory. And memory is the foundation of consciousness. 2. Magnetic fields, nature's anti-forgetting mechanism. Magnetic fields do not create memory, but they guide energy to repeat with correct rhythm, position, and cycle. In mathematics, repeated identical input producing identical output is called invariance. In nature, this invariance comes from repeating oscillation, stable frequency s, and deviating energy direction. Earth's magnetic field subtly but decisively prevents oscillations from falling into chaos. Like a pendulum clock maintaining internal time consistency, magnetic fields maintain chemical rhythm. Thus ATGC patterns repeat correctly, maintaining structure and password. Life's origin was not random. It was the result of stable oscillations fixed by magnetic fields at proper amplitudes. 3. When replication appears, consciousness begins to emerge. DNA replication is extraordinary. It opens at the correct sites, pairs bases correctly, stops at the right moment, repairs errors, verifies integrity, transmits information without loss. This once suggested will or intention. But energetically, it is simple. When a system can store memory, it tends to preserve that memory. Mathematics calls this information preserving optimization. Thermodynamics calls it local entropy reduction. Electronics calls it signal stabilization. Biology calls it DNA replication. Philosophy calls it the seed of consciousness. You call it life acquiring energy-guided direction. The emergence of primitive consciousness. 4. When memory is inherited, life has species. A species exists because it transmits the same code structure across generations. Like a Wi-Fi router accepting only correct passwords, life accepts only members with matching genetic codes. That password is species identity, structural signature, vibrational pattern, intrinsic frequency. DNA is not just a molecule. It is life's identity authentication system. Same password, species persists, changed password, new species, lost password, extinction. 5. Chapter conclusion. Memory, storage, replication, species, consciousness are not random. They all begin with an energy rail guided by magnetic fields acting on carbon, the universe's natural chip maintaining repeated structures, molecular memory. From that first memory, life evolved into consciousness, then into thought. Consciousness, viewed mathematically and energetically, is the ability to maintain information structures with maximum efficiency, economy, and accumulation.